People will say there are a million ways to shoot a scene, but I don't think so. I think there are two, maybe, and the other one is wrong. Jeff Cronenweth has shot some of the most visually stunning films and music videos of the last 3 decades, from Fight Club to Gone Girl, being a frequent collaborator with David Fincher, as well as being the son of one of the most respected cinematographers of all time. In today's video, I'm going to be going over the cinematography behind The Social Network, talking about the pre-production process, what techniques Cronenweth and Fincher used, as well as the equipment behind the unique look of the film. Written by one of the most admired screenwriters of all time, Aaron Sorkin wrote The Social Network, saying, "What attracted me to The Social Network had nothing to do with Facebook. The invention itself is as modern as it gets, but the story is as old as storytelling. The themes of friendship, loyalty, jealousy, class, and power." The screenplay for the film ended up being over 160 pages, which was intimidating to both the executives and even David Fincher. In order to get the film financed and convince the right people, they sat with a stopwatch and read through the entire script in under 2 hours, ultimately convincing them and getting financing. When it came to the casting of the film, Jonah Hill was in talks to play Sean Parker, but ultimately Fincher passed on him in favour for Justin Timberlake. And as for the Winklevoss twins, both Armie Hammer and Josh Pence were cast, with them later putting Hammer's face on Pence in post-production. When dialing in the best visual approach for the film, both Fincher and Cronenweth were looking at different locations and set designs. In an interview, Cronenweth said, "We wanted to get the dorms, small rooms with roommates, lack of furniture, sparse spaces. Harvard itself is the centerpiece, old dorms, bricks. Plus, they don't condone shooting on campus, especially this movie, which gives Harvard a black eye. We had to tread lightly. That was the main reason we had to stay compact and shoot small and on the run." Luckily, Fincher is a fan of shooting on digital and often uses red cameras on set, and as they had just come out with the Red 1 MX, they used that. It gave them more latitude and contrast in camera, as well as a higher ISO and ASA, which is ideal when shooting at night with minimal lighting. It is also a much smaller and lighter camera than the industry was used to at the time, which is helpful when you are restricted for time, and especially so when you have to shoot guerrilla style with well-known actors. It's important to remember the subjects of the story are still just kids finding their way in the world, and when you're young and the world is still a party, it has a slightly unreal emotional amplification to it. David Fincher is known as a visual director. Every scene is perfectly composed, choreographed, and everything down to the tilting of a character's head is accounted for. He partially does this through VFX, but even on set they have countless rigs for every scenario. In fact, only one shot from The Social Network was handheld, and it is that at the end of the film when Sean Parker is found at a house party. Using handheld in this specific scene allows for Fincher to show how scared Parker is through movement. Even though the entire film is people talking in rooms, Fincher and Cronenweth still manage to hijack your eyes in each and every scene. Whether it's the vast landscape of old university campuses or the Henley Rule Regatta, where they use tilt-shift lenses to achieve the effect. Both Fincher and Cronenweth have an idea of how they want to compose a shot from the beginning of production, on how they want a stylized yet sleek look for the film. The rule of thirds is used to an extent, but it is more about keeping the frames balanced. The use of symmetry is eye-catching from the first scene in the bar, and then used regularly throughout, but you will also notice the use of strong lines and level framing. The use of a shallow depth of field was both a stylistic choice and storytelling tool for Fincher, making you focus on whatever he wants you to see. If he does not want you to notice it, you won't. In film, we sculpt time, we sculpt behaviour, and we sculpt light. When it comes to photographing the performances, Cronenweth said in an interview, "You always had to capture the performances in a way that supported that kind of dialogue and kept the tension increasing, whether it was through the length of lenses, shallow depth of field, or subtle movements to create a little bit more tension. Although it is hardly necessary with the cleverness of the dialogue and the interaction between the cast."
I've come up with something. Hang on, I gotta tell you something that you're not gonna believe. What?
Overall, everything from the use of colour to the movement in the cinematography all helped to tell the story. Cronenweth and Fincher spent weeks planning shots, making sure they are absolutely perfect, and if there is a bump, they can always fix it in post.
Now me.
Excuse me 1 second, what sound is he making? Is that like a tisk?
Cronenweth shot the film on the Red 1 MX paired with Zeiss Master Primes and Ingenue Optimo lenses. Master Primes are some of the cleanest lenses, with the image quality being the top priority. They are also known for their virtually zero distortion, which is important to Fincher as he likes his films to be visually perfect. They are also capable of low light performance, with a constant t-stop of 1.3, which is what they use throughout the entire film. Ingenues are again clean, but allow Fincher to zoom when he wants. This was also the first film to feature a 2K pipeline from production to presentation. The colour grading on any Fincher film is interesting, but in The Social Network it's dark, but still keeping all of the detail in every frame. Whilst usually Fincher leans towards giving his films a more neutral look, The Social Network has a more orange tint in almost every scene. It's as if it's ingrained into the film. Overall, the cinematography is a character in David Fincher's films. Every composition, movement and colour has been meticulously calculated and perfected to the idea that he had in mind. I hope you enjoyed this video looking at the Jeff Cronenweth's cinematography on The Social Network. I'd like to do more videos surrounding cinematographers, so if you have one in mind, leave a comment down below. If you found this video helpful, a thumbs up is appreciated, and if you'd like to see more videos like this, then hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.